Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So continuing on from last week's video here, we've got Commandramon. This is just the full D Brigade Commandramon list versus BlackWarGreymon X. This just continues on in our series of trying to figure out what decks will combat BlackWarGreymon X that are also still decks that are good just as a whole in the meta. So we've tried the big one, which was BlackWarGreymon X. You saw that video earlier this week, so we got our data on that. Now we're pulling in for our Commandramon, just because I think out of the fastest decks of the format, Commandramon being really up there, and BlackWarGreymon, both of those being like really high tier of aggressive decks. And that are also so consistent. They'd had the best shot, so we're going to go ahead and test this as well. If you see any misplays, again, please let us know. We're still trying to learn the deck. I'm still trying to learn the BlackWarGreymon X deck. This was, again, our very first big session of testing and playing game after game after game. So this was like our first big test run of the deck. This whole recording session for all these games that we're showing this week. So again, definitely let us know if we've missed anything. Also, don't forget about our winter's themed memory markers that we've got. These are for a limited time run. Holidays are fast approaching, and then these guys are going to be gone. So again, make sure you get these. These are a limited run. We've got a Tanamon with a Santa Claus hat there, very cute, with the what are they, the pine cones there as well, if it would focus up there in his hat. Very cute, handmade out of clay by my wife, hand painted as well. You can find that on our Etsy page, link in the description below. Also, you can find all of our previous memory markers that we featured on the channel, as well as our other Christmas or holiday themed in general memory markers that we've got. All right, so go ahead and kick things off here. Again, if you want to see the deck profile for the BlackWarGreymon deck, check out our Road to Nats video. So here we go. I do got it sped up for a little bit because there are some pauses here. We're going to play the Cool Boy and grab that new Greymon X. We see the Decoy Commandramon coming down, and then the On Deletion Commandramon just getting hard played. So already getting very aggressive there. So here we're going to see that Agumon X coming down, turning our stack back into red, which can be very important depending on what we're running. We do get the search there, and we pick up the Greymon. And then activating the Cool Boy to gain a memory and to draw an extra card. Here we go into the BlackGreymon, and then followed up immediately by a 0-cost Greymon X antibody for an additional draw. Go ahead and slide in that X antibody option to get our a lot of our abilities online here. So we're going to see that 2 Evo cost into the BlackWarGreymon X, which will then pop the Commandramon because we have the X antibody option. So 6,000 DP or less, we get a pop body. But they will quickly replace it with another Commandramon. All right, we're going to see the jamming Silsdramon coming down here. Looks like we do forget we do have the blocker Greymon inheritable there. A bit of a misplay there. Probably could have very easily avoided that. Here we're going to see the Tankdramon coming down now and playing the blocker Commandramon. So passing it back over to us here, we are in a pretty good position. We do have a very energetic, I would say, stack there that we can do some really nasty, gnarly plays with. But playing the Cool Boy without evoing into a rookie basically screams that we do not have a certain piece. So we're going to see that Agumon getting picked up off the Cool Boy to allow an additional draw there in raising. Definitely seems like we're breaking a little bit here. Going to go ahead and swing, though. We do actually have the BlackWarGreymon X now. So we will draw for Evo and then draw for the Coremon as well. Swinging for... should be... I believe 1 check, if I'm not... yeah. So swing 1 check, unsuspends, trash a security because of the the Metal Greymon X ability, and then also deleting something on the field with the lowest play cost with the BlackWarGreymon X ability. So very nasty for sure. Definitely in a bit of a pickle here. we do have the Greymon blocker, which is going to stop one attack, and then we can also redirect the highest play cost into us here. So definitely got a formidable wall to handle there, and they're going to pass turn with that Izzy. So they are getting a pretty massive field here, potentially very, very soon. We're going to see that Greymon Evo here. It is for a 2, specifically because it does not get the memory back because there is not just a plain Agumon in the inheritable, so just kind of keep that in mind. But we do have the cool boys to follow it up with the Greymon X. Very, very powerful. And then just swing in, get another check with that BlackWarGreymon X. We don't have the inheritable to attack unsuspended Digimon, so that will stop us a little bit. Digivolve 1, and then we're going to pop a rookie with that Metal Greymon. Go ahead and pop that blocker just to help get us for future plays here. Looks digging for maybe the X antibody option at this point. Looks like I see some sort of... It looks like a Hades Flame in hand, debating the Hades Flame. Yeah, so that's 7 play cost. Should be 5, actually. But we'll clear their full field and then basically gets to blitz with that Greymon on field. And then draw for the Coromon. I'm not sure if we fix that in this game or not. That memory should be only... there we go. We see that unsuspend, and they go ahead and scoop it up. I think we did fix that memory right afterwards when we were talking about it. But yeah, just nothing they could really do after getting their full board cleared there. Here, bold choice. Going to just hard play the 4 play cost Agumon X. Going to pick up at least a BlackWarGreymon X. But instead of oh, we can't Evo this one. Sorry, that was the one I was thinking of. Yeah, instead of Evoing and raising. That one's an awkward one for sure. I'm not sure how I feel about it just yet. They get a nice plethora of things, though. They get a Kazu as well as a Commandramon, putting us to 1. And we're just forced to Evo into the Greymon X. That is... Ouch. That's a big bummer there. That's not what you want to see happen. Skipping over the Greymon. So they were going to take advantage of this immediately, using the Kazu to draw 1, trash 1. Will die to a BlackWarGreymon in security. And then instead of attacking with the other, he just chooses to play a Commandramon to pass. I think I just would have went all out on that one personally, but here we're going to see the Metal Greymon coming down for 2 Evo on top of that Greymon X. Such a nasty being able to reduce that Evo. And then a Greymon X or Metal Greymon X coming down to pop a second target. Super, super strong. Because we do have the Metal Greymon this time around. We don't have the X antibody option, but that's okay. And then, again, no X antibody option, so just gotta Evo the BlackWarGreymon X and pass turn, giving our opponent a pretty healthy chunk of memory there. They'll gain an extra 1 because of the Kazu, putting them up to 5. Swing the Commandramon, draw 1, trash 1. And yeah, we redirected it. Sorry, I was like, what happened? Oh, we redirected it. And then just going for the ultimate flare here, Digivolve 3, but still too big to die. So, and then we're at 6 memory, which is a pretty hefty amount, especially with all the Evo reduction we can do with the deck, potentially. Like with that Greymon X antibody is such a strong card. So good. Yeah, there's not really much else to say, but that card is absolutely insane. Looks like we're digging through our hand a little bit, and this is, again, one of those moments where it's like, this is why I have it sped up. Just because trying to figure this deck out and just figure out what optimal plays are, as well as our hand size can get pretty out of control. I noticed, just with all the X antibody 0 Evo cost that we do. We see the Black Tamer there. We see another Agumon Search. And we will go ahead and play that for 4. Big, hefty chunk search there. Reveal 3. We do get the X antibody option, at least, off of that, which what we were desperately missing before. And choosing just to Evo, no X antibody option. There's nothing to pop in the anyways. Although, probably would have been maybe worth it just to put it under there to get the protection effect. Nope, I'm not even going to worry about it. Might not have a Mega in hand, in fact. So I'm going to gain 1 again off of that Kazu. The Izzy making sure they put their 3. So, like, our board state is potentially really good as long as nothing bad happens. All right. Ooh, and we do see that Tamer finally getting hit there, so we don't have to play it ourselves. That's always kind of a bummer. You don't want to really have to play it ourselves. And then hard playing out a 4-play cost Commandramon. Ouch. But with a memory fixer on field, it's not like it's the worst thing. So we're going to see that the original BlackWarGreymon, the bees that can evo on top of red babies, coming down there for starting to get some draws going. Now, again, the unfortunate part is it's with it being black, we can't evo the red Greymon on top of it, the one that gains the memory back. So essentially, it's a 1 evo. So Digivolve here on the Metal Greymon, and then go ahead and pop the rookie underneath, and then evo for 1 and pop the second rookie as well, just completely cleaning up that board. You're going to see that Agumon now turning our raising area back into a red stack. Again, could be very important. Now, we did see the X antibody option get picked up earlier. Now, the question is, though, is there a Mega in hand? No, it does not look like it. Digging for the Mega now, the BlackWarGreymon X. Doesn't see it, but we do see a third Metal Greymon X. So once those inheritables get online, we're going to be just absolutely demolishing some security. Looks like our opponent only has 2 cards in hand. Not ideal. Choosing to swing with the Metal Greymon at the unsuspended. I hope that is a legal play. I can't remember the traits right now. Probably should double check that, clarify later. Greymon Evo for 1 here. The Black Agumon does count this time around to gain that memory back. We're going to see a 0 Evo cost of the Greymon, and then suspend the Kobold to gain a memory. That's 2 draws. Checking, like, where are the Metal Greymons at? Just what is going on with this absurdity? Also making sure we got to get our Koromon draws as well when we attack, because that could be pretty clutch. We have a huge field of stuff, so might as well just kind of start swinging and do something. Do hit into an Iron Fisted Onslaught, which is less than ideal. So checking Inheritable, see if we have any sort of protection effect here. I don't think we do. No, I didn't see anything there. We do have a little bit of some multi-tiered protection there between the X antibody, removing that with the new stuff, and then the old ones of the Greymon with the 2 identical levels there, which I don't know if we have in this build or not. All right, let's see the 1 Evo into the Metal Greymon X. Looks like we finally draw into something, or at least into the BlackWarGreymon, which will should pop some tamers there. Yep, pops both of the 3-cost ones, so no bonus memory. And then just playing an Ultimate Flare, Digivolves it by 3. But again, it's X antibody deck. The stacks are just absolutely insane. Ultimate Flare just does nothing to an X antibody deck. Whether that be Garurumon or Greymon. Like, I don't think Ultimate Flare is a good call against those. As well as there's lots of 4-play cost stuff floating around between Commandramon as well as just other decks. There's too many 4-play cost rookies in the mix. You're not going to get too much value off of. Here, it looks like we finally start seeing something. We do see the BlackWarGreymon X coming down. And that will pass turn. Put our opponent 3, unsuspend, trash that last card in security. Our security looks like we're sitting at 3 right now, and they're just going to go ahead and scoop it up after that. Just could not get the pressure through. Yeah, it is what it is. It's rough. You hard play these things out. Like, yeah, you can maybe get a cheeky swing in with that early game, like promote out a raising area and swing, but like the redirects, the blocker Greymon underneath, the black one, like that's 2 essential stops per turn. That's a nightmare to deal with. So if 3 bodies on field, you get 1 check. Like that's not ideal. That's not what you want to see happen. And then every time the BlackWarGreymon X unsuspends, it's trashing a security and popping something on your field. Oh, what an absolute nightmare. And then it's swinging over your unsuspended Digimon with the Metal Greymon inheritable. So yeah, it's getting free security checks that aren't triggering. It's clearing at least 2 bodies around, or you're going to attack over an unsuspended one, and then opponent's turn, it reboots, it pops something else. Like, you're just clearing your opponent's field so bad. The BlackWarGreymon itself taking care of the opponent's tamers and making sure you don't have to deal with any of those. And then just I think that the icing on the cake is really that X antibody option, just being able to swing Evo mid swing, with like the BlackWarGreymon X, and then it's like it hits, it kills whatever it is, and then it unsuspends because it immediately passes to our opponent's turn. So it's like a blitz. A blitz reboot is just absolutely nuts for this kind of style of play. Very, very brutal of a deck. Again, if you want to see this deck profile, make sure you go follow our Roads to Nat video from last week. I believe it's episode 2, where we talk about our initial build and what we're switching into after this, because we did make some changes after all this testing this day, and then we will follow it up with more testing in the future. Again, trying to alternate back and forth between the BT11 format and the EX3 format. It is like, who knows what our Nats is gonna be. Like literally just a 1 week delay on product, and we'll probably be in the EX3 format. So kind of keep that in mind. If what you're testing, make sure you're testing both, guys. Guys and girls, like, test both formats individually, and I'm trying to take whatever EX3 decks are good and see if any of them can match up against BlackWarGreymon X, because out of BT11, I think BlackWarGreymon X is the only like really good competitive on its own deck, where you get a couple support cards here and there for already existing decks, but really you're just throwing BlackWarGreymon X into the EX3 format and see if any EX3 decks can handle it. And that's what we're trying to do here, is see if any of the current top tier decks can handle BlackWarGreymon X. Definitely still need to test Grandis soon, because I think Grandis is going to be in a really good position, because it's going to be, you know, a massive Digimon, and it can just attack over the BlackWarGreymon X, pierce it, and all that jazz, and it just can't do anything against that. Now, Grandis does suffer against other decks, though, so you got to keep that in mind. If you're going to play Grandis to combat the BlackWarGreymon deck, remember there's other decks out there that you have to deal with as well, so just kind of keep that in mind. So it's really a tricky deck. I think I want to definitely test my security control against it, because that is like one of my favorite decks, and if it can maybe combat this, like the unsuspend trashing of security is super annoying, but if I can just out recover it, this BlackWarGreymon X draws an insane amount. If I can continuously deck out BlackWarGreymon X, there might be some viability to that. So see if we can just kind of keep up the recovery to keep pace with BlackWarGreymon X. We'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens, though.